I wonder if he'll let us take his clothes off. Can you ask him, can we just pull the shirt down to have a little look?
Kulia chose mzee Shamali, no? Dejas?
He didn't answer. I think it's okay. Yeah, let's have a little look. Quantos tempo aqui no programa?
Já tem uma semana.
Uma semana. He's been here 1 week, eh? And he was mais fraco
Sim,
antes?
estava mais fraco em relação
You
ao
can still
presente.
see it's still very thin. Yeah. It's got a big tummy too. Edema? He had edema
No,
first?
não
Just
tinha
marasmus
edemas,
only.
não.
Ah, okay. Let's have a look if he's a bit anemic.
Kaya no kuton.
No, he's not, which is good. But it looks like he's had a bit of problem. His hair's not nice and curly like it should be. Oh, he's really thin there, poor little.
It's very thin.
Yeah. He might have a problem with the cold too, by the looks. Yeah. Okay, we can tell him we can put his clothes back
Quero
on. Muito
contigo.
obrigada.
Várias Shamali.
Okay. Originally they lived in the village over there in Bunga, and then what happened is the village there just continually was getting attacked, and then her house was burnt down and her fields were ruined, and so the whole village was moved over to this part of Shangara over there. And so she's just been waiting every month just for food. She's not able to harvest yet. She has fields, but they're over there somewhere, and they're just not high enough yet to harvest, so she's just waiting every month for the food to come in. And hopefully when this harvest is, that she'll be able to provide better for her family. Sleep sometimes in the village so that they can pick up all the children that have got severe malnutrition. And then they bring them back to the centre here, and then the children get feeding 5 times a day. And this little baby Jacina came in 1 week ago, and unfortunately this little baby's got a combination of 2 types of malnutrition. It's got a kwashiorkor, which makes them swell up like a toad with all sort of edema there, and what's happened is, you might see this little one's got sores underneath here, was actually where the skin was so edematous, it's like a burn, a blister, and then it bursts and made sort of like little sores there. But not only does the child have protein deficiency, the child also has marasmus, and that means it's lacking in fat. So this poor little baby has got a lot of feeding to do to get well enough to be able to go home again. So I think this child will be in for quite a few weeks.
If it weren't for the war, would this be happening? Would there be this kind of malnutrition?
I don't think so. Actually, if you look at the forest when you fly around, you'll notice that there's just quite a lot of lush area. I think it's the war that's caused a lot of these problems. Without the war, they'd be back to their normal lives, be able to grow their food. Yeah, it's the war that's caused the problems. Is this the one from the other day that we saw? Ah, so this little kid's really, really sick, this one. It's very sad.
What will you do with something like that?
Well, I can see here that it looks like the hospital have given it some oral rehydrations, but it doesn't look like it's been mixed up.
She said that she received this packet and she was told to boil and give the child to drink.
But they didn't tell her how much water to use or how much powder to use.
No, she was not told.
This is not doing any good, just popping a little bit in water like that. It has to be to the exact measurements or it's just useless. That child never should have been given just a packet of oral rehydration like that. It's just like giving it a death sentence in a way, because if it's mixed up incorrectly, then you've got too much salt in it, and that's actually very dangerous. And so our team in World Vision have been trained that when they always do training, they must do a proper demonstration. You could tell the mother even right now that this is how much water she needs to use. Can you tell Mama in Nyungwe?
Nani mama yana mwana mkatambira kabulo saka kale temba kadano mkafungula mwikete kenseni mzafika umu amaji yale yafika umu mtenga bulo saka mwikamwe ndipo maji yate ngufika umu.
Okay, and then what she has to do is she has to, every time the child has diarrhea, she's got to make sure she gives it plenty to drink. So I'll let Jose be in charge of this, just to make sure that the mums know how to make this oral rehydration and show them they can use this container.
José poderá ser responsável, né? Deverá mostrar à mãe como se processa a mistura da solução oral.
Yeah, and we've got empty containers. If she needs one, I'm happy to give one from our warehouse. There's no problem. We've got plenty of these.
Nós também temos recipientes vazios.
The yellow containers originally held Australian sunflower oil.
I was kind of worn anyways.
Sometimes the people have to sleep outside because if they were to sleep inside and the bandits were attacked, and especially if they were to burn the roof, they would probably get burnt. So they actually sleep outside, so if there was an attack, they can easily run away. When I was sleeping here, and I remember I suddenly heard all this noise going just outside my caravan there. And I was brave enough and popped outside and had a look, and there was all these people just going down into the riverbank to hide. And it was just amazing. The peace that I had, I think it was because of my Christian commitment that helped me through, because normally I'm a bit of a chicken. I get very scared. And this time I was able to pack my little bag just in case I had to run away. Then I went to bed and I actually slept throughout the night. And what happened was I asked the next morning what really was the story. And about 15 minutes walk away this way, there was a small group of bandits. There was only about 3 of them, I think it was, had come into the community and they'd burnt down 3 of the huts. And one of the huts happened to be one of our local facilitators. So it was really absolutely shocking for me to go and visit her the day after, to see her face. It was just so tragic just to look at. She just was so upset. Everything had been burnt. She was a single mum and she had about, I think it was 3 children. All the clothes, not that she had a lot to begin with, but in any case what she did have was burnt, all the food and the house. And so that incident really made an impression on me. You know, I was very sad to see it happen to somebody I especially knew.
What? At the centre, the parents are told about vaccinations and given medicine. The baby gets better.
We find that if they see something very good visually, they're going to remember it. In actual fact, they've done studies where they've shown that if you just hear it with your ears, you're going to remember 10%. If you see it with your eyes, you're going to remember 50%. If you actually do it, you're going to remember 90%. And that is so true. I've seen it time and time again, that if they're actually doing it, they're going to really practice what you've told them.
This is a song about preventing cholera. You must drink plenty of water, dig your pit latrines, and wash your hands, because cholera can kill. In Vivian's district, the vaccination program she supervises has been so successful that over 90% of all the children have been vaccinated. The national average is only 20%. Vaccination is part of a child survival program where World Vision works with local government to train the whole community to look after their children's health.
Okay, what we're doing here is once a month we try to come to the village here in Bunga because we want to weigh the mothers and be able to give them a monthly ration. And the idea is to try and hope that the baby, when the baby is born, is going to be above 2.5 kilograms. Because that's the most important time that a baby is growing, is inside in the mother's tummy. So it's very important she gets good nutrition then. So we're hoping to do this right now. But at the same time, she'll get a proper antenatal check and a vaccination as well. A lot of the mothers are underweight. Here they are, 9 months pregnant, and I weigh more than they do. This is the mum we saw the other day, wasn't it? Bon dia, mãe. Let's have a look at how her little baby is today. Maybe you could check with Lucinda and Jose if they know how this little baby
Bem, a Lucinda é que devia explicar porque ela é que é responsável de ver como é que as mães têm dado alimentação às crianças.
And probably we could maybe weigh the child and just see how much weight the child has put on. That might be
Provavelmente
an
poderemos
indication.
pesar a criança para saber também o peso.
Yeah, I can see even just in a couple of days the swelling has gone down on that foot, so that's really great. That's good. So just tell Mum she's doing a very good job there, just to continue giving her all those drinks and the biscuits.
Once a month, all the children are weighed.
And it's a food for work program. The kids have to go and collect the water and also the firewood because they then use that here in the kitchens. The cooks don't have time to collect that. And it's good for the kids to not just stand there waiting for a handout. They've learnt to do some work to get the food.
Alberto, Joana, José Mesa, Lucida Faneco, vocês vão receber 6 ingressos. Lucida Inácio.
Ah, este, né? Este.
Oh, there's a little bit, I think, somehow or other. We might have to just check the way they're making this porridge up, because this one doesn't seem to have as much fish as the one in the other school. On the sensor. Yeah, you can check that if you could. Maybe how come this school seems to, although he's got a few pieces, maybe it's like a lucky pot. Whoever happens to be at the bottom of the pot gets the most fish.
In the field, aid agencies and local authorities frequently work together or help each other out.
Coluna assim não passa e passa 3 meses sem ver transporte, sem ver medicamento. E assim passamos muito mal.
At this government health clinic, medicines are in short supply.
Sem medicamentos.
So he's supposed to get a kit once a month, but what's happening is the convoy is not working, so it's been 3 months. Is that what he's saying? Sometimes
Yeah, 3 months without
receiving medicines. So he's really just got to use what he can. Has he got much left now?
Se fica tem algum estoque ali, alguns medicamentos.
Aqui não tenho nada quase.
He doesn't
Não
have
tenho.
much.
E assim já desgotou, não tenho nada. E ali também no centro de saúde de Xangara, tem dado, mas muito fraco também. Eles realmente não temos medicamentos.
So what was he saying about?
The health center sometimes used to give them, but it's in small amounts.
Oh, okay. So this health centre tries to help, but they have a bit of trouble. Oh. She's got a good little setup here underground.
Mas muito pouco.
Yeah, but doesn't have enough drugs, eh?
Verdade.
Okay. Can I have a look and see what he's got?
Esse é cetrimida concentrado. Aqui também ácido benzoico, pomada para sarna.
Oh, okay. This is for the problem with the scabies.
Sim, também tem muitos, é muito frequente cá essas sarnas.
What I'm interested about is I noticed here that he's got needles that he reboils up and uses again. But if he keeps using the same needles over and over again, that the point on the needle gets very blunt. So when you stick it in, it's going to sort of be hard to get through the skin.
Depois de utilizar as agulhas, então as agulhas.
I heard him say that he was wanting mebendazole. I think we've got a supply in Tet. I'll go through the cupboard and have a look and see what I can get him. So just share with him that it may take maybe a week, but I'll see if we can get in those tablets for the worms. Is that seems to be a big problem here?
Ela teria acompanhado de que tem falta de mebendazole.
Getting supplies through is an ongoing problem. This gives them time to plant a crop and then to harvest their own food.
That's the trouble. If it's not completely dry and it's stacked this way, then you've got real big trouble. Ah. Okay, it's still okay. That's great. So I'm glad we really were very fussy and made sure we got dry stuff. Otherwise it would have been really rotten. Actually, some of these pieces down the bottom are a little bit, you see, that's what happens when it's not completely dry. Okay, so I think we should take the opportunity of getting the stuff on the plane, because we've waited, I don't know, how long is it, 2 weeks now for the truck to turn up. So I think while we've got an opportunity, why not use that plane?
Is there a danger of people developing a handout mentality?
Yeah.
And never becoming self-sufficient?
Yeah, definitely it can happen. I've seen it in one community. We actually had to close our program because they said, give me this, give me that. And we said, sorry, you know, we will give you the gift of life through health education, but we will not be able to keep giving you everything that you ask for. So I'm sorry, we'll have to close this program down until you realise that it's not good to always just stand there waiting for a handout. It doesn't really help the people in the long run. But unfortunately, they do need assistance at this present moment because the crops haven't been harvested yet. So we still are actually giving grain to these areas.
I think she wants a cuddle.
It's the children that keep me here, I think, because I care so much about their livelihoods, and it's sad to see them suffer. Memories of children that were so badly malnourished, and then to see them up running around again, those are the sort of memories that I'm going to keep in my heart when I go home.